Hello all, this is Saurav Dhyani signing in, and today we'll be discussing about a question that I received from social media about how do I manage my item expiration in Business Central. So we'll go through that. The question is multifold, so we'll cover those in multiple videos. So first, let's see how you set up item expiration in Business Central. So let's understand what an item expiration means. Assume that you have a customer who deals with medicines which always have an expiry date set. So they need to make sure that Business Central caters that need and they are able to enter the expiration date for the items that they are either manufacturing or purchasing. And so that it helps them to sell the items which are earlier in expiry date first, then the later ones. So for that, what I've done for today's demo in my Business Central, I have already created an item. And the item is uh, 1000 and called paracetamol, just to give you an example of it. So let's see how you set it up. And for that, I'll zoom this in. On your item card, when you're creating an item, you'll define all your fields as needed, but then you will come into something called as item tracking tab. And here is where you manage your item expirations and all. So let's have a look how we do that. So while you are purchasing or you are producing any item, if you have a manufacturing in place within Business Central, you would like to force users to enter the expiration date. And then we also see a field about expiration calculation here. We'll come to it in a while. But to enable that user are forced to enter the expiration date, choose the item tracking code. By default, there's one called lot all expiration. Let's navigate to this and let's see this. So when you get into this and you view the card of this item tracking code, it tells you it's a single place where you can set up lot and serial tracking. So let's disable or minimize the serial one. And then if you see this item is tracked lot wise. And if you see all these are enabled, that means the lot number info will be required on these kind of transactions. Send. But after that, there is this miscellaneous tab which talks about two things. One is warranty and one is expiration date. The first one is require expiration date boolean, which means that it will force users to enter an expiration date when there is an inbound transaction happening for this item. So what it says specify the item that uses this item tracking code must have an expiration date and that you must enter in the expiration date field manually. The date formula is specified in the expiration calculation on the item card will be ignored. So let's test both the ways. So first we will enable the required expiration date entry. And what we'll do is we'll go and try to enter the do an inbound transaction using item journal, just to keep it simple. So on my item journal, I'll do a purchase of my item 1000 and I'll do it for, let's say, location East. And let's say I'm doing a purchase of 15 quantities. And then if I try to post it right now, because it's slot tracked, it should give me an error. Okay, let's do a post. And as soon as I try that, it gives me an error that you need to assign a lot number for this. Okay. What I'll do, I'll go into item tracking lines and assign a lot to this. And that should assign one single lot. If you want to have two lots for it, let's say 10, and then another lot, let's do assign lot number and it to two lots. So now the items that are inbounding or getting into the system will come into 10 quantities with lot number 3 and 5 quantities with lot number 4. Let's do a close. Everything looks good. Let's try to post it now. Okay. I should not have clicked that, but I did. Let's cancel this and let's try to post it. When I try to post it, it gives me an error that the expiration date is needed on the tracking specification window. So what I can do for that is I can go back here and I'll have to go to my personalized option because this is not a common setting that every business will use. So it's not enabled by default. The field is not available by default, but I can then drag that field here, which brings my expiration date into the page. And then I say, okay, this item is going to be expired, let's say tomorrow. And this lot is going to be expired on the afternoon. So I've set those expiration date for two different lots, and then I'll try to post it. Okay. Okay, East is not set up, so let me choose another location just to keep it simple. Let's keep main, F5, and let's do a main. And I guess I cannot change it because I already have the tracking info. So let me do, let me see what's the error and we'll set that up. I guess the posting setup does not exist for that. East and finished, there is no setup. Okay, okay. Let's get back to item. Let's do this quick setup for this location. Okay, detail and finished. Okay, let's, all right. So I don't have one for, what was that? Did I copy that value? No, I did not. So my detail and then, oh, okay. I don't remember that. So let's go in there and let's try to set this up. I guess that should be a simple way. So let's go back into our item journal and we'll see the error there. Okay, here it says location east and inventory posting setup does not exist. Okay, for east and finished. Okay, so let's set that up. East and what is the value? Okay. Okay, main and resell raw material finished. Okay, so let's do finished. And let's just define the amount if I can. I'll just short it by this. I'm doing it for east. I'll just copy whatever is for me. You need to verify this based on your requirements, the business requirement, but I'm just doing it for the demo. Once I've set that up, let's try to do a post and that should get posted. Okay. So something we did and it got posted. And let's quickly have a look on what happened on that ledger when we did that. Okay. History item ledger entries. So if you look at it, there are two new lines would be created for East 10 and 5, but I guess I'll also have to personalize here and add the expiration date. Make sure that we have that. So we'll do it somewhere here and we'll search for expiration date. And let's just drag it in here. Okay, done. So now if you look at it, the two expiration date that I put it into items in line are available here. But we did not test the other option. So let's quickly test that also. In this case, what I'm saying is whenever the expiration days calculation need to happen, that happens for this item. The journal trend is that it expires after 1 day. And this is just an example. I doubt that there are some item which expires every on the next day. But to enable this, I'll have to go and disable this, because if this is enabled, if you remember it, it will ignore the expiration date calculation field on the item card. So I'll have to disable this. Now, system will automatically define the expiration date based on the expiration calculation formula. So if I change it to 2D, and all the medicine that comes in, all this item when it brings down, it comes back based on whatever is set on my work date, which is 410 right now. So now if I go to item journal, let's go back there and quickly I'll do the item number 10,000 or 1,000. Okay, let's choose the same location, east, and the quantity is 4. Let's go into item tracking lines and let's assign a lot number. So what we got? We got a lot number. We did not specify the expiration date, just FYI in this case. Lot number 5, done with that. And now we'll try to post this. So, okay, once we post it, let's go back to item and move to our ledgers, item ledger entries. And here you'll see that the item that just came in with quantity 4 automatically got an expiration date based on 2 days after the work date of the user. So there are two ways to manage the item expiration in Business Central. You need to make sure that you get into your item, in that you me open my Business Central again, if you can see that. So okay, so how you set up expiration date on item? On your item card, you move to item tracking. In that, you choose the item tracking code, where in the MISC group of your item tracking code, you have an option to choose or to force user to enter the expiration date using a boolean called use expiration date, or sorry, require expiration date. The require expiration date forces user to key in the expiration date whenever there is an inbound entry, and that value need to be set manually. If you want to do an automatic calculation of an expiration date based on when they are inbounded, and that's possible based on what kind of items you have in your item list. On the item card, you can always use an expiration date formula, which is called expiration calculation. It's a date field where it's not a date field, but it's a date calculation field, date formula field, where you can give a formula based on which the expiration date of the item will be calculated. Hope this clarifies the doubt of the person who asked this question. And I know there are other parts remaining, and I'll make sure that we cover that into next video as we go forward on to that. So till then, thank you. If you learned something new, do share this video. If you are new to this channel, then do please subscribe to the channel and press the bell notification if you want to get notified whenever there's a new video. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Have a nice day.